Okay, how about I do? There we go. There we go. I know, like, there we go. Okay, now you can see me. Hello, Facebook, my YouTube peeps. Happy day, happy day, happy day. As I wanted to come on, my routine is getting into a routine and getting back in the swing of things. Um, so I wanted to, Monday, 7 p.m. You saw my live, well, my post that I was coming on at 7 p.m. And sorry for the delay. Technology. As soon as I ready to start, I had to restart the computer, and it was taking forever. Needless to say, that's neither here nor there. The most important thing. I'm here. I am here. I am here. I am here. Hi, friend. Hi, friend. Oh, my sister friend. That's my sister friend, y'all. I just love her to life. Love her to life. Oh my goodness. I've been so blessed. So blessed, I tell you. Guess I'll just go ahead and just do this. All right. So I'm getting situated because, as I said, I'm a couple of platforms. I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on I don't have anything. I'm on TikTok at the same time because, you know, I time is of essence, and I got to make best use of my time. Hello, 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 hello. So, anyways, wanted to come on. As I said, happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday. So glad that you are here to join me as I just share with you where I am on this journey of life, right? As we are all on our different journeys, right? Life is not a sprint, it is truly a marathon. And so, as I am now marathoning, is that such a word? Through this new normal, right? And so I just want to talk about a couple of things. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is getting into a new routine with the absence of my father and my brother. Needless to say, it's not like I saw them every day of my life, but I pretty much spoke to them every single day. Okay, just about every single day. My brother lived really close to me, so every other day or every few days he would come and visit. And so certain times of the day, when you're expecting that, with that void, with the absence of that person. And so one of the things, and I'm going to share a couple of things that we've been doing, is first one is getting into a routine of as normal as possible, not just only for myself, but for myself and for my children. Of course, my husband had his routine going to work, but since I am I work for for myself. I homeschool the children, and so we start homeschooling until about the second week in September, because we can do that. Hallelujah! Because if I had to deal with going back to with them going back to school and having to gather up that whole process, it really would have been another overwhelming process. But thank God we were able to start at that time. That's so those other students that are part of our micro school, it was communicated to the other parents that we're going to start homeschooling a little bit later. So it was fine because we can always catch up. Okay, that's the wonderful thing of doing our homeschool. We're not on anybody's schedule but our own. Hallelujah. So we started homeschooling a little bit later. As I said, the second week in September, we started. So that has as help. And so now getting back into a rhythm of schooling. And so, for our schooling is 8 to 11:30. And so we've really kept that regiment as well. Also getting the kids back into their activities. One does ballet, one does singing, and one does gymnastics. So getting them back into their routine of classes, because I could not deal with having to take them here, there, and everywhere as well. That wasn't going to happen. Okay, that wasn't going to happen. And then for my husband himself, we just had to figure out our flow, because the schedules are different as it was to previous years. And the other thing too is that I wanted to make sure that the kids were involved in activities that they liked and that they enjoyed, separate and apart. Some of them are together. They do a GEMS class that happened once a month as well. So that's, if you don't know what GEM is, that is girls, engineering, and math. That's to help young ladies, girls, to really get into that type of industry. So depending on where you are, you can find out as one that you're interested. It's a great program, and just having the girls have that exposure. It's all girls, by the way, and this is not a promo thing. It's a great little community activity if you're interested. And I think it's from girls in middle school. I think starting from maybe first grade. Don't quote me on that. I don't have that information until like high school. So they can get, scholarship opportunities. They have different scientists and engineers and all that comes for the program. Sidebar. Okay. So getting them into that routine as well. We do our daily. So in the morning when they get up, okay, I have my devotion time with my husband. When they get up, they get themselves together. I'm not waking them up, okay, because they're a little bit older now. And then we have our exercise time, and that's everybody. That includes myself, the girls, and my mom, getting into a routine, okay? Maybe your routine a little bit, but just getting into some type of normalcy as possible. That is what we've done. And so after that, they have they have the little breakfast, or if I've done juicing, something like that. And then we go ahead and we start class. Homeschool mom that we do that, we wanted to start off with prayer this year, and we have been, and having the kids lead the prayer as well, because we realize that that everything is life. It is a spiritual warfare, and wanted to really equip them with prayer. And then we do affirmations, and affirmations, they break up in their different grade levels, because we have kids from kindergarten to ninth grade. Yes. And so we break them off on Zoom, and it is on Zoom. Okay. We do on Zoom because people are in different areas as well. So kids are in different areas. And so now we have that regiment going on every single day. Once a week, we do some type of field trip or some type of activity as well. And also getting into a rhythm of, sometimes we'll go and do lunch or some type of errand. So getting into a normal routine, that's really important. Once you've dealt with such a change in life, is getting into a routine as quickly as possible. Mind you, that is not a limit, okay? Everybody is different, and don't feel pressured if you cannot get into a rhythm yet, all right, when you just deal with a grief, because it is a process, and it does take time for everybody, depending on where you are, depending on your support system, who's there to help you. And so people always ask me during the process, how can they help? How can I that? And to be honest with you, at that particular time, I didn't know how you can help. I really did not know how could be help, because there was nothing that I needed help with at that particular time. But now, as getting into the routine, because sometimes my brother would take the girls and drop them off, and so now it's having to help to facilitate that process, where it's not always myself or my husband, because sometimes we do need a break too, and I don't want to mess up the flow of the girls, even though sometimes it does happen. It really does happen. But that is something what we've been navigating with, and then getting into a routine with my husband and myself as well, because we need that time to together. Yeah, we need that time together. We need that time together, right? Of outside to be responsible for others. We need to be responsible and accountability to each other, and for ourselves. So having that time together and apart, because there's times that I just need a moment by myself, nobody. That's nobody, and it's okay, right? Oftentimes they say, you're strong and all this. Listen, it is by the grace of God. And it's by, if I said this before, it is truly by the prayers of my support system. Shout out to my support system. Great friends, great families as well. Great, even my social media family, that just said, I'm praying for you. It's definitely felt, because if it was not being felt, I would be in a corner, just like, or in the bed, not being functional. But I can be that way. I can be that way. So I'm very happy for that. So one of the things I definitely suggest, if you've experienced any type of loss or and what have you, is finding a rhythm, finding some type of routine, and doing something where you're also going outside when you can go outside. Being outside for me is very important. It just gets me in a different space. Even in Florida, it's hot. Okay, go early, okay, or in the evening, but just go out. Just being outside and getting some fresh air is definitely important. So I do try to make that as a part of our room as well, that we are going outside at least once a day. A routine for my mother is gardening, right, which has been a very beneficial for our household, because now our household is very green inside and out, which has been great. Thanks, mommy. Love you to life. Love you to life. Love you to life. So just helping to everybody to get into a routine is important. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is dealing with the trigger moments, because there are trigger moments. All right. There are those moments where I am crying. There are the moments I am asking those questions, and I'm like, God, how, why, and what have you. And so for a trigger for me, one of the triggers for me is Sundays, to be honest with you. So, for example, yesterday, Sunday, was a Sunday that I would have loved to just stay in my bed, cover my head, and just cry the rest of the day. Really and truly. Because those of you that know, my father was a pastor, a bishop, and, he loved church, and I love going to church with them. So for me, having that was definitely, it's a trigger. And so now being mindful of the trigger is so amazing that by the time I got to church on yesterday, and a young lady was there waiting for it was like she was waiting for myself and my mom to walk in, because my husband went to go drop off the kids to their youth and their ministry, and she walked in, and she was like, it was like she was just waiting for us, and she just welcomed us in such a way. It felt good, and I know it was nothing but the Lord, right? By the time we left there again, somebody else said something and embraced us once again. So those little moments where I knew it was nothing but the Lord, that I was able to kind of go through the rest of the day. And through the day, I did have a couple of moments. I really did have a couple of moments throughout the day, and making a conscious decision. Thank God for my husband, who I just said, he says, "How are you doing today?" And I was like, today, like I just said, I would have preferred to stay in bed and cover my head and just cry my life away. That's what I would have preferred to do. But after I shared that with him, he prayed for me. Thank God. He prayed for me, and I was able to go through the day. And every time I will think and kind of gets like a bit downtrodden, and I'm just like, today I am choosing to enjoy today, to make today is an amazing day. It's the best day of my life, right? So when those triggers happen, Those are the times where you really have to make a conscious decision to ask the Holy Spirit to help you, okay, to really help you to navigate that moment so it doesn't become a lifetime, right? Because grief can consume you. It can really, really consume you if you allow it, and you don't allow the Lord or Holy Spirit to give you the strength to go through that time, right? And so, thank God, with God's infinite wisdom, that He allows me to recognize that. So anytime you have those trigger moments, or if you've identified those trigger moments and it brings you to a place that can consume you, by all means, reach out to somebody. Reach out to somebody if you just don't have the strength, or if you just say, Lord, help, plain and simple. You can't get any simple prayer than that. Lord, help. Lord, help. Give me the strength. And He does. He really, really does. He'll send a person. Same thing yesterday. I got a text from a friend, and it was such a great encouraging, little messages that I get throughout the day. They're such an encouragement. Okay. They're really, really encouragement. So anybody that that is going through that, a message, sometimes sometimes you can't call them, but you just send a little message, and that seed grows. Okay, that seed grows. That just let them know that somebody is thinking about that. Okay, sending a message on social media as well, responding on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, right? Leaving a message, just letting the person know that you're thinking about them makes a world of difference. It really, really does. Don't think that, oh, you're not doing enough. It is enough. Something is better than nothing. Okay, something is better than nothing. Remember that. Okay, so that's how we're dealing with those trigger moments, as I said. So because now we're getting into the holiday season, and I was already thinking like, oh gosh, Thanksgiving is coming up. For me, I'm like, okay, I want to be someplace else, right? Going to a family, going to a friend. It's a trigger. Christmas is coming up. I've already said, to my husband, and just like, I want to be someplace else, and I want my mom and my children to be someplace else. As well, because the absence of two major people in our lives, is not going to be there. And so now making a conscious decision to be with other family members so we can create new memories, right? Now we have to create new memories, still acknowledging the loved ones, the memories that we do have, but now making an extra effort to create new memories. Another way of dealing with the trigger moments. All right, so that's that. So my third thing I wanted to talk about is dealing with, this is the last day, if you all did not know, that this month was Life Insurance Awareness Month. And I do everything from the womb to the tomb, and it's, as I said, it's not about me, right? It's just sharing information of what I've experienced and just some things that you probably just need to know. So first and foremost, anytime you have to submit first of all, when you get a benefit from a life insurance policy, no matter the amount, if you did not know that, you do not get taxed. Okay, once it's paid out, it's not taxed. It is tax free. When the money comes, you put that in some type of investment or something. Have it work for you if you've got enough amount to do that, right? But what I wanted to share with you is that a lot of times, if you did not know this, and depending on where you go, some funeral homes, if you are using your insurance policy to pay for the funeral service and what have you, that some funeral homes will actually charge you a processing fee. Okay, so that particular time you might not necessarily have the money to pay for it right. Thank God I was able to go ahead and pay for it, but they'll charge a processing fee so they can kind of get more money from the policy and kind of give you the rest as well. Some of them do that. If you did not know that, also, which I did not know this as well, that the funeral is different from the burial. I thought it was one whole big thing. It's two different things, and oftentimes it could be just as much. I think I shared that with you, but just in case if you forgot it, now you know. All right. When you're about to submit your claim, of course, you need the death certificate to the insurance. A lot of times they want the long one. So because there's two different ones. There's a short one and there's a long one. Did you know that? There's two different types of death certificates. And by the way, don't get a gazillion of them. Just get one of the long one of the short one, because a lot of times companies, depending on what you're submitting it, they'll just take a copy of it, right, and give it back to you. But if you have to deal with multiple companies, sometimes they actually want it, right? Or they'll tell you to scan it, and that's pretty much it. So I will start out just getting one of the long, one of the short, and then go from there. All right, because you have to pay for each of those certificates, by the way, each of them. Some, and that could $12. I think it's like $12 each. Don't quote me, okay? But you do have to pay for each of those certificates. When you have a loved one, particularly when you have a survivor's social insecurity, yes, that's social insecurity. Guess how much they'll give you they'll give you a one-time payment. And one time, you know what I said, okay? And don't get excited about the amount. $255 is paid to and this is for, I'm going to tell you who this is for, because it's not for everybody. This is the lump sum death benefit is paid, and I'm reading what I got from the insurance, not the insurance, but anyway, it doesn't matter where I got it. So anyways, this is $255 benefits paid to the surviving spouse who lived in the same household as the deceased at the time. So nothing, my brother, my mother will get something from my father, okay, because they live together, okay. Of course, if you're a surviving spouse and you are not of retirement age, you cannot, let me repeat that, you cannot get your spouse's benefit until you are retirement age. That's one thing. The other thing too, if you have children though, who are 18 years or younger, right, then the children can get the parent Social Security benefits. Okay, of course you have to apply for that and what have you, and speak with them. Sometimes some of the process you can do online and you don't have to go to the Social Security office. Depending on the situation, everything is different. You may have to go. All right, so first see if you can apply for it online, different benefits. If not, then you do have to go to the office. Thank God the office for us is close by where I live. Right, but needless to say, sometimes you have to go to the office. Okay, so that is that. The other thing, what I've learned with this income protection is make sure that you submit your paperwork all at once. Don't give them a piece of this. Don't then their certificate and then send them something else. Make sure that you give them everything all at once. Some places will allow you to just scan it and send it. Some places you have to send in the documents. So if you have to send in the documents, make sure you have every single thing, because if you do not, it's going to delay you getting paid. Okay, and you don't want nothing to delay whatsoever. So make sure you have all your documents in the road, the certificate. Sometimes some places have a claim form. Sometimes some places, and I'm saying this because I've dealt with actually 3 different insurance companies, 3 different. And I can say honestly, some pay out faster. Some pay out faster. If you want to know who paid out faster, for us, Primerica paid out faster. And not because I'm doing it, they actually did. They took, I mean, as one of my dog likes to do. They actually paid out faster, which was a testament to me, because, and of course, Never necessarily wanted to my brother be a death benefit. But needless to say, it was a very good experience, and most of them were pretty. Even the other ones, they were a good experience as well. But I can tell you that they were. And what other thing too, what was just surprising, their office was closed because they had convention, and less than 2 it was still paid out, which was great. So that was just my experience. It gives me a more assurance too when I'm dealing with my clients that, listen, they're going to take care of you. The other thing I want to encourage you to, if you have term insurance, okay, and I just know that term is great because you get more coverage for the money, but do not have term only without having some type of investment, right? So you're not dead in the water, because people are living longer. Okay, so have term, get term, because you're going to get money if you're on a budget. However, and all depends on your circumstance too. However, make sure you also have some type of investment to go along with the term. So if the term ends, okay, you still have the investment that can continue to go, which sometimes can end up being more coverage on the investment, depending on how long you've had it and how much you're putting to it. So if you're living longer, no matter what, you still have some type of money. You still have some type of money. I don't set up my clients. When I set them up, I set them with their life insurance, which is term, but also with the investment as well, because I do not want them to be dead in the water whatsoever. Not at all. I do not want to be dead in the water. So that's just another little tip as well. The other thing is to understand that life insurance hashtag is considered income protection, right? So if there's a loss of an income of a loved one, that you're not dead in the water, because now, heaven forbid, as I said, the loss of the loved one, is lost. But if they're contributing to the household and now that income is gone, it could be a total disaster. Something else you have to deal with losing, right? Losing the loved one and then losing that income. No, we don't want that to happen. Okay, so it's, I didn't realize, as I said, life insurance is not for the dead, it's for the living. Life, hence life, right? Hence income protection, as I like to say. Okay, really and truly. So if you only have it at work, heaven forbid, if you get sick, right, and you're no longer able to work, depending on how long you were out, that you can lose that one at work. You can lose that one at work, and then you'll be totally dead into the water, even though you said, but I had it at work. So that's why it's so important. I mean, I cannot say this enough. I'm just going through this, that you have something private that you are paying. So even if you do get sick, right, heaven forbid, you still have something, because at the end of the day, my fabulous peeps, it would be truly a terrible thing that you get sick and then that is gone, and you didn't have something that you were in control of, right? Because that is actually, that's why I always feel, okay, you're going to pay a little extra if you want to pay extra at the work, but pay extra on what you own, that you have control in. And that's just part of building your financial health, which is actually the foundation. The foundation of your financial house is income protection, which is, I say, life insurance. It really, really is. I know this might not be the most exciting topic, and I know at first, we hear about life insurance, we're just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die tomorrow. We think that. But listen, we have to get our head out of that foolishness and think about, no, I need to prepare. When God has given us a sound mind, it's part of the preparation. God wants us to do things in decency and in order. That's why I say also have your investment along with it, right? That you can be able to still access that. So that is, as I said, the foundation of your financial house is your life insurance income protection. Because I can tell you that loss could be truly devastating to a family like that. Just like that. Okay. So make sure you reevaluate. If you have not looked at your policy, look at your policies. Every so often, look at your policy, know where they are, and also make sure that your beneficiaries that is up to date. Make sure if anything needs to change, that you're able to change. Um, Also make sure that you have a point of contact, right? So somebody that they can be able to contact, if ever, and heaven forbid, that they know where the policy is. Okay, that person, they know where the policy is and all that information, so they can have that point of contact, to the rep or the insurance company, uh, as well. Okay, so make sure you have that. The other thing you want to do is, as I said, of course, this is somebody that you trust. So, you can't trust everybody. We just can't. Turn this off. Getting a little cool. But you have, as well, right? Because as I said, that this is the foundation, is income protection. All right. Next time I'll talk about a little bit more as far as what other things you need with your financial house. But I want to share this information with this. So please go ahead. If you have, what I would love for you to do is leave a comment that the information I shared was helpful, or leave what other thing that you would want me to share in this process, as it relates to your financial house and just the whole grieving process, and just how to go through it, and go through it, and not be consumed by grief. And listen, it is a process. It really is a process. For me, to be honest with you, doing this is therapy, because it helps me to just share information of what I've experienced, and hopefully it can be an encouraging to somebody else. So as you're navigating life, that you feel that somebody's out there not gatekeeping. I don't want to gatekeep. I want to share. It's helpful for me, because I like helping. I don't want to be consumed with what I'm going through. I want to be like, as I'm going through, that I can reach back and say, hey, you can do this, or you can do this, or I'm here. I'm here to help. So leave a comment, that the information I share was helpful, and what other information that I can share, as well. And just send your girl some love, okay? Send your girl some love, at the end of the day, because I appreciate you all very, very much. And the other thing I want to share with you is that if you do not know, now you know, is that I do offer complimentary financial needs analysis. Basically, it's just to see where you are, right? Because everybody's financial house is different. And